Before we get into the heart of the presentation, I want to frame this session by building upon some of the themes that Jay actually outlined in his presentation yesterday. Secure, simple, and productive. Now, how does data protection apply relative to those particular themes? We're all executing in this era of AI, which means that your data is your greatest competitive advantage. Your data is your greatest competitive advantage. Now, should you get breached, your data can represent one of your greatest liabilities. So, with that frame, how can you actually secure your business's most valuable assets while still making it available for collaboration and sharing and accelerate competitive advantage and differentiation? So, to take a look at that, let's look at essentially what's happened in the evolution of data protection. There was a point in time when I could say a statement like, my data, it's on across my 3 global data centers. I knew exactly where my data was. I knew who had access to it. I could even put it behind lock and key and then monitor who is actually accessing it from that standpoint. Cloud and mobility came about, and it changed the problem from a 2-dimensional model to a multi-dimensional model. The average enterprise holds data across 2 or more public clouds. It utilizes 25 data store types and has thousands of data store instances. Now, that's completely separate from the hundreds of IT applications that are sanctioned by your IT group that are SaaS, much less the thousands of unsanctioned applications that your data is distributed against. Now, this challenge or this problem set has created a tremendous amount of point products looking to address and patch each one of these particular areas. And the complexity has created not just a tremendous amount of offerings that are doing point solutions, but it's created also an alphabet soup of categories that, for all intents and purposes, is very difficult to stitch together for a comprehensive data security strategy, much less platform. If you think about what it presents you with, in each one of these areas, there is nothing about this picture that is secure, simple, and productive. So, when you think about it from that standpoint, it's also compounded by the fact that data will continue to grow. And inside of your enterprise, probably grow even more in accelerated fashion because of generative AI. And then you couple that with IT organizations' need to actually secure their cloud-native development environments and secure their software development life cycles. They want to take advantage of all the things that come from continuous integration and continuous development, but at the same time frame, don't want to create greater exposure, roughly, for data exfiltration. So, when you think about this problem, what Zscaler did was built a unified data protection platform across all channels that's integrated with our cloud-native application protection that we refer to as posture control. It informs of where the data actually is, identifies what data is sensitive. Then, it gives me visibility and assures that I'm configured properly and compliant, gives me visibility of the identities that have access to data and who or what might be overprivileged, tells me what data might be exposed to the open internet, as well as be compromised through some known vulnerability. And lastly, through the power of being inline through Zscaler's Zero Trust Exchange, it gives you the ability to apply data protection policies across the endpoint, email, and SSL-inspected payloads. And lastly, to manage unmanaged devices, it has the ability then to just stream pixels to a BYOD device rather than actually the data itself, continuing on with giving productivity, but eliminating the data transfer altogether.